Okay, we've got a 1967 Farmall 656 with an IH 2000 loader on it that I picked up. Didn't know much about them. Come to find out, this subframe is for the lower down international tractors. Though it fits on the Farmall, see it's the brackets, not to the frame. It does not allow for the front cross member to fit on there. There's too much of a, it sticks out too far. The loader works on this tractor. I got by with it, but I was able to find a subframe and the loader actually for the Farmall. As you can see, the mount on the back axle is dropped down considerably lower than the international style. I want to change it. Number one, because it's not right. Number two, pardon the snow, you can't get into the engine compartment to do spark plugs very easily. You just, not right. So we're going to change it. This loader, I found a quick attach company called ATI. They specifically had a quick attach for this loader, so I paid extra money to get it. Could have made one, welded it up, great, but they already had them set up to go, so I bought that one. And we're gonna get this switched out. Another problem with this loader, on a narrow front end, it hits the front tires. I have a wide front end to put on here. I picked up off an 806. Get around to doing that here pretty soon. But we'll get this pulled off and we'll compare the subframes from the two. Another reason for this loader, the headlights hit on the subframe here, and that's not right too. Drives me nuts. Taking the loader off the subframe's not that hard. Just need to know there's quite a bit of weight in that loader. I gotta be 1,000 pounds or better at least, so keep that in mind. To remove the loader from the subframe, all you need to do, drive the pins out on each side off the cylinder arm and the pins on top. That's all that holds. There's two on each side. That's all that holds the loader arms to the subframe. Okay, we got our pins knocked out. Top support of the lift cylinder with some jack stands so I don't pinch them hoses up. A little bit of a rigged up way to do it, but took my engine hoist, put a spanner in there, wrapped a ratchet strap around there to hold it up. These will have a tendency to go in. They're a little bit flexible, so I'm just trying to keep them out as far as possible. And come back here, disconnected my hoses because unfortunately a 656 is running off the remotes for the loader. And we'll get backed out and get the subframe switched out. Well, I went and did it again. Used my engine hoist to hold up the loader. Now I don't have it for holding up the subframe, so we need to get this figured out. But a little bit better look on the front mounts. Again, these are for the international style tractors. They raise that up because they're lower down. These right here are the brackets that are going for the Farmall. Unfortunately, the guy I bought it from told me it came off a 656, which is what I have. But these brackets, I'll show you in a little bit in the book, are actually for the 460, 560, and I'm not sure on the other ones, but we'll see if we can make them work. Okay, I got the left side subframe off. The side-by-side comparison, international subframe, Farmall subframe. And you can see a little bit better the difference in the heights that those mount to the axle. Other than that, the International is slightly shorter. The front parts, basically the same. Pretty much the same length. In case anybody's wondering, your identification number mounted on the backside lower part of the subframe on both sides. Here's the right side. The one that I bought last year does not have that on here. There's side-by-side comparison. So that's a subframe front mount bracket. Got the inside one and the outside one. As far as I can tell, this needs to be all the way back for this tractor. Lines up pretty close up front, and then we've got that right there that goes over it and goes underneath this part. So here is the correct subframe mounted on the Farmall 656. You can see that light now. I gotta tighten that up, but that light's gonna be able to work now. And these brackets for the 560 and 460 seem like they're gonna work. It just rides on top of that little plate right there. And the front cap I'm able to get on now. Took a little finessing to get that on there. Start with I put both sides in, both nuts, bolts on one side, and then on the other side I had to wiggle it to get the other two in, but got some room here now in front of the tractor. She fits on there. Next step is to get the loader put back on, which should be fun. Well, the other night it got dark, so I couldn't record. Now a week and a half later I've got a cold, so once again, a little overview of the right subframe. Now, well, without the arm in the way, I've got room to get to my spark plugs and cap, get the oil filter better. I need to change the oil. Got some leaks on there, but it's an old tractor. What do you do? And I didn't show. Now I've got quite a bit of room between the front tire and the loader here. About probably 8 inches or so. And I got my lights all straightened back up, tightened down. I'll probably add some, maybe get some LEDs and throw them on the front there. Help if I need to plow some snow in the dark or something. What else was it? Got my hydraulic lines hooked back up. I'm gonna see at some point, I want to figure out how I can run an auxiliary hydraulics for this stupid loader. I'd rather have controls like up here, maybe fasten something onto here and run them back with spring style controls, because I really don't like using these because they stick when you're using them. And if you want to run an implement, you're kind of screwed because I'm using all four, or both of them, whatever you want to call it. Next step we're going to do is try to figure out the hydraulic line. Stay tuned. A little bit dark out here. It gets dark early these days. Earlier in my video, when I took this loader off of the subframe, I had that wooden piece going across to get both sides with my engine hoist. When I was going to put it back on, I realized that I didn't really need that board across. I could have just picked it up on one side, probably because I got the bucket still mounted on it, kind of helped balance it out. But if your bucket's on the front and you need to take it off, you should just be able to pick up on one side and it'll stay pretty stout even with each other. So here are a few setups. This right here says in the book for 416/560. That's the bracket that I put on my 656, set up just like that, and it works. Then you got 706. That's the bracket that's supposed to be on the 656, but I don't have that one. And then 806. And it notes up there Farmall. And then down here, you got international, different models, more international. Here's the rear subframe and 7 and 806s. That's the rear subframe. And these. And here's a B414. Here is a list of subframe different styles. That's like the one I took off. I'm not seeing, this doesn't have the one that I put on it. These are for international tractors.